And we're live on the Pulse this afternoon. There's some breaking news because we're hearing that a new IGP has been appointed. Let's cross over straight to the studio 997, where my colleague Evans Mensah is stationed there to tell us more about this.
Is set to become the new IGP. And this obviously is something that we are waiting a formal communication from the presidency about. For those who are wondering, who is Dr. Dampare? I have Raymond, who's head of our research desk, with us in the studio. Raymond, what do we know about him?
So we know that he is Director General Administration and has been in the police service for about 3 decades. And he joined the service as a constable and has risen to the highest rank of police, commissioner of police, until he's just been elevated, becoming one of the youngest police officers who have attained this in recent years. That's very important. He has served in many leadership capacities in the service, including being Director General of Finance, and I'll tell you why that's important, because he has a PhD in finance, and Director General of Welfare, and that's what people have known him for when he traveled across the country to actually see to policemen that are attacked and all of the other things that happen, and the Director General of ICT. He has been Commandant of the Police Command and Staff College. This is sometime along the line, a position that people were surprised he was given after he did a lot of work in the Accra Regional Police Command. And I'll tell you why that's important. Remember the arrest of the JB Dankwa gentleman who's supposed to have actually conducted the act. He is currently the director. Of course, we know that he became a chartered accountant at the age of 25. That's important. And while serving as a police constable, so he joined the police and became a chartered accountant. Then he holds a PhD in finance. He's also an adjunct lecturer at GIMPA and the University of Cape Coast here. And some of the credentials we have known him for: he was a special assistant to the regional commander, and he was also along the line the United Nations mission in Herzegovina and a municipal police commander of Cape Coast. He was ADC to the Vice President of Ghana along the line, and in Ghana here too, he's been an accountant and a finance officer at the police headquarters, and also the head of police narcotics desk at the Ministry of Interior in times past. In fact, one of the points I made earlier is the credit he was given for the swift arrest of the gentlemen who were held responsible for JB Dankwa killing. He should be around 51 somewhere this year.
I mean, the thing about Dr. Dampare is he's a very affable, likable individual. Indeed, once it's confirmed, in my estimation, the finest. It represents the finest of the Ghana Police Service, the finest of the Ghana Police Service any day. My first encounter with him was way back in 2007 in the north, where there's been a major flooding disaster. The president then, John Akuffo, had traveled with the UN, and of course he was a senior police officer then, leading, representing his police folks there, and you could see his understanding of human relations was above par, and especially at the time when the police service itself has come under a lot of scrutiny, and the relationship they have with the public has become strained because of course the latest being what we saw with the Ejra, for example. There's a strained relationship that we've seen over in the last few weeks and months between the police and the citizens. He's a perfect man for this time. And the perfect man for this time.
It's instructive to know that the police has had some bad press for some time now. I mean, he's the gentleman that if you're a journalist, you surely have a contact to him. And he's affable. He's
very
not
affable.
A person that is difficult to have contact to, and he explains things to you. He really will get you to understand that this is what the real situation on the ground is. Maybe that will permeate the system going forward.
He has indeed cultivated a great relationship with the media. In fact, in October 2018, GJA conferred honorary membership on COP Dampare, which makes him an honorary member of the Inky fraternity. There is no doubt that that is a position he will leverage to the benefit of the police service if he's given that opportunity. Of course, whenever you hear of a senior police officer in a viral video, you expect it to be something negative. But not in the case of COP Dr. George Dampare. Just this year, in May 2021, he was in a viral video doing something which ordinarily should never capture the attention of the media. But in this case, he was in a traffic queue and decided not to use his sirens.
Yeah.
Just that attracted the attention of the media, and a viral video was created of a police officer sitting in his vehicle, somebody who has the entitlement and indeed the equipment on top of his vehicle to beat traffic if he wished to do so. But he decided to sit in traffic. Just that simple act marked him as an atypical police officer. He's not your typical police officer. And there is an expectation that with somebody of his caliber at the helm of affairs as IGP, there is an expectation of a rather different face to the police service.
And the thing about it is, if you know anything about Dr. Dampare, he has been tipped to be IGP for so long. For those who know him and have studied the security architecture, there's always a suggestion that he is next in line, and it doesn't happen. And of course, then people start questioning, but why? I mean, he's just so fine. And as I say, the time is now just right. And it's a perfect timing. And you have to, again, once you get a confirmation, this is something that the president must also take credit for. Because obviously, to understand the times you're in and make an appointment that suits the time, it's a skill that a leader must have. And for me, that is something that needs to be, it's a part of the bigger conversation now, is understanding that we're at a point in time when that relationship that you need between the police and the citizenry so you can win against this, latest surge in crime is critical. If you don't have the right man at the top, first of all, you are going to struggle to get morale within the service itself, right? You need an affable person, both within the police service to galvanize, somebody that they can all look up to and like, and want to work for and die for. Because really, that's what the police service is. You put your life literally on the line every day when you are instructed to go in. I mean, if you take the military away, the police do that too, of course, within the internal territories of Ghana. And often, if you don't have somebody at the helm that they feel comfortable with, especially when you have crime, a changing face of crime, you're going to have a big challenge getting your officers and men with arms to go in and fight and put themselves in line of in harm's way. If you have somebody like Dampare, as I know him, he's just a magnet, and his approach to things is quite different. So you deal with the internal challenges with morale and motivation. And then you also deal with the second line, which is the citizens you have to work with. They see him, they see the way he talks. His humility is the thing that strikes you the most when you meet him. This is a PhD holder who says, I want to serve in I mean, let's be frank about this. A police service is not a service that people hold in so much. It's a revered institution among the populace, right?
So people stand out.
Yes, it's the reason why we always say the military should take the lead, and people, because there's a certain respect that the police deserve, but they don't get, right? And that has been an issue for so long that when you see the police officer, they just simply don't. They don't. Not, I want to say command. They've not done enough to earn it. Yeah. So when you have that sort of challenge, you definitely will need somebody who comes in with a certain humility to say, I understand what the problem is, and I'm going to work on that. There's a human relations there that is so important that he himself brings to this
and there are many instances in which he has demonstrated that quite actively. For example, when he was transferred to Winneba, to become the commandant of the Ghana Police Command and Staff College, it was a move that many people considered to be at best a demotion.
That's true.
Because he used to be the Greater Accra Regional Police Commander, a position in which he had actually chalked up several successes publicly. So it seemed hard to explain when he was moved to Winneba. But in his own comments, which he put in a statement, he thanked God Almighty for his guidance and protection during the 6 months that he had served as Accra Regional Police Commander. And he said this, and I quote him. He said, "It is in this regard that I wish to thank the police administration, officers and men within Accra." Forgive me, I've lost that. It just disappeared. Oh, here we are. Within Accra region and all stakeholders, including the media, civil society groups, religious groups, political parties, and the entire populace of the metropolis for their enormous contribution and cooperation for the entire police command during my tenure. Then he says, as I take up the new appointment, I will beseech all to continue to give same support to my successor and his team to keep Accra safe, especially during the upcoming election.
You know, when there was a review of a sort, some form of a structural, when you wanted to replace the outgoing IGP, David
News is so central. So that was Evans Mensah, who is head of our political desk. He's there with Raymond Aqua, head of research desk, and Kojo Yangson, host of the AM show, Super Morning Show on radio, and telling us exactly why Dr. Dampare is needed in that position right now, in the situation in which the country is. And of course, they've been telling us about how Dr. Dampare has what it takes. You've been following conversations about why people think the IGP, the immediate past IGP, Upon Bueno, is only good in administrative stuff, but not to fight crime. And the fact that he needed to be changed for somebody who really understands the terrain to take over. So there are a lot of mixed reactions with this appointment. Later on PM Express at 9 p.m. we'll be breaking it all down for you with the experts, those who know and do a lot of research into the police service, into the what goes into their work. And they'll be telling us why Dr. Dampare is fit for the job or not, and also tell us their expectation as he's been appointed to IGP. I tell you, it's going to be a tough job for him because of, what we've seen around us. And the experts say, yes, it's a good thing to be there, but he has to really prepare for this job. All right, so this is the pulse. We'll take a break. Right, so I'm told that the COP, Dr. George Akuffo Dampare, who I've been talking to you about, he is the one who's taking over from the IGP. He takes over from Upon Bueno, who is a lawyer and police officer who was appointed to be the police boss by President Akuffo in October 2019. George Dampare, until his appointment, was the Director General in charge of administration at the service. COP George Akuffo Dampare has been in the Ghana Police Service for close to 30 years. He joins the service as a constable and has risen to the highest rank of Commissioner of Police, becoming one of the youngest police officers to have attained this in recent years. He has served in many leadership capacities in the service, including Director General Finance, Director General Welfare, Director General ICT, Commandant of the Police Command and Staff College, and Accra Region Police Commander. He is currently the Director General of Operations of the service. COP Akuffo Dampare became a chartered accountant at the age of 25 while serving as a police constable and currently holds a PhD in finance. He has been an adjunct lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and at the University of Cape Coast in Ghana. Amongst his credentials, George Akuffo Dampare was a special assistant to the regional commander, United Nations missions in Bosnia, Municipal Police Commander, Cape Coast, ADC to the Vice President of Ghana, Accountant Finance Officer, Ghana Police Service, and the Head of Police and Narcotics Desk at the Ministry of the Interior. He has been credited for his lead role in the swift arrest of the alleged killer of former Ebuaka North MP J.B. Dankwa. This is the man who is taking up the mantle as IGP, even as we begin to record a lot of criminal activities, as people lament that criminal activities seem to be on the rise. Dr. Dampare takes over. What should we expect from him? Let's continue that conversation at 9 p.m. on PM Express. This is The Pulse.